Welcome back to Spider Red. We're going to do the top 25 for the end of the regular season. It was a great season. We have 4 undefeated teams, 4 one-loss teams, and we could have a chaotic conference championship weekend, which I'm pretty excited about. So I'm going to do it a little differently this time. I'm not going to do any drill down on the top 12. I'm actually going to start with 25, and I'm going to move my way all the way down to 1. We're going to start with what I consider the rest, 13 through 25, and we'll start at number 25 with Toledo. I have Oregon State at 24. Oregon State had a rough past 2 weeks. I actually thought they might knock off one of Oregon or Washington, but they didn't. They got close with Washington, but Oregon pretty much handled them over the weekend. And then at 23, I have the Clemson Tigers. Man, I bet those fans wish Tyler from Spartanburg would have called into Dabo a lot sooner, but they finished the season winning 5 games. At 22, I have NC State. NC State actually beat Clemson. That's why I have them one above them. And then at 21, I have Oklahoma State. At 20, we have the pathetic Iowa Hawkeyes. Over the past 7 weeks, their last 7 games, they have not scored over 20 in a single game. Good luck against Michigan. Let's go to 19. We have James Madison. They're actually going to get to go to a bowl, which is really cool. There wasn't enough teams to qualify, so the NCAA finally are going to get the Dukes into a bowl game, which is cool. And this is their first year coming from the FCS, so it's pretty impressive. At 18, I have Tulane. And then I have Notre Dame coming in at 17. Louisville beat Notre Dame, and they just got beat by Kentucky. I was hoping they'd stay in the top 10 for Florida State, but Kentucky ended up playing a good game and beating them. I have the undefeated Liberty at 15. And then to finish out at 14 and 13, I have LSU at 14. And then I have Penn State at 13. And the reason why I didn't put Penn State in the top 12 is they only have that one top 25 win against the pathetic Iowa Hawkeyes. I know they've only lost to Michigan and Ohio State, which are top 10 teams, but they did not play well against them either. So that's why I have them outside of my top 12. Now let's finish up the top 12. Starting at number 12, I have the Ole Miss Rebels coming in. I rank them over Penn State because I think their quality win over LSU means a lot more than Penn State's Iowa win. And both of them lost to top 10 teams, so that kind of equaled out. At number 11, I have the Arizona Wildcats. This is a dangerous football team right now. If we were in the 12-team playoff this year, this would be one team you would not want to play. They would be one of the hottest teams going into the football playoff. At number 10, I have the Oklahoma Sooners, who will be playing Texas for the Big 12 championship this weekend, so it would allow them to move up a little bit. At number 9, I have the Missouri Tigers, who had a great season. They played Georgia really well. They beat Kansas State, so they went outside of the SEC and got a big win. So I have them at number 9. At number 8, I have the Ohio State Buckeyes. Yes, I had them dropping all the way down because their 2 quality wins are not holding up against some of the teams in front of them's quality wins. I'm going to jump on my soapbox real quick about Ohio State. Gus Johnson with the Fox Sports. That call on Saturday for the game, could you show a little less bias? Those world-famous Buckeyes, they're the world-famous losers right now. Show a little less bias and call a better football game. I'll move on. Number 7, we have the Alabama Crimson Tide. Man, they got so lucky to beat Auburn, and that was a fun game. The kid, I think, pushed off at the end to get a little separation to catch that touchdown. But hey, Alabama always finds a way to win. They play Georgia this weekend, and it should be a good football game. I actually have Oregon moving ahead of Alabama to number 6. They have been behind Alabama. Outside of Arizona, 2 of the hottest teams in the nation right now are from the Pac-12. So Oregon would be another team you do not want to play. And they get to play Washington Friday night for the Pac-12 championship, which should be another great game. We're going to have a lot of good games this weekend. Moving on to number 5, I have the Texas Longhorns. God, they destroyed Texas Tech over the weekend. Last year, Texas Tech beat them, but Texas was not having any of that this year. So my top 4, at number 4, I have the Florida State Seminoles. I believe this is a balanced football team, and I think they're going to beat Louisville, and they're going to have a really good shot at making the college football playoff. I'm not sure if they could hold up against any of these other top 8 teams without Travis. Maybe Rodemaker can come in and start playing better. At number 3, I have the Washington Huskies. They have been slowly just barely winning each game. Now, granted, one of those games, Penix was sick. Over this weekend, that game, there was a ton of rain at the game. I still think they're a good team, and they're going to be able to control their destiny. They're going to play Oregon. If they win, they're in. At number 2, I have the Michigan Wolverines. I had them moving up a good bit because they beat a good Ohio State team. And they won those 2 games without Harbaugh. And we all know what happened there, but I think it was great that the team stuck together and they played really well to get undefeated. And they'll play Iowa in the Big Ten Championship this weekend. And then at number 1, hope everybody doesn't think this is biased because I am a big Georgia fan. But Georgia Bulldogs at number 1. They're the first team to go 8-0 in the SEC for 3 straight seasons. They've got a 29-game winning streak. They're a very good football team, and I hope they play well against Alabama. So that's my top 25. I'm actually not going to do the bracket this week because I want to save it for next week. And next week, I'm only going to do the 12-team bracket, and I will break down on who I would actually put in the bracket if it was the 12-game playoff this year. Thank you for listening to Spider Red. Tell somebody you love them. Later.